Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the Zeta Plus C1 or the Zeta C1. Yeah, I got some initial thoughts for this suit. Quite a weird one. Definitely, I think I said in my one of my videos, the first match of the testing, that's kind of got a hama situation going on with it. So yeah, we're talking about that a little bit. These are going to be two matches here. I have this first one where me and my friends were dicking around when the suit came out. I think this is a little bit after one of the friends got one also. The first day, or well, yeah, technically a day. And then the second one's going to be me using it in space, which I think it's way better in space, in my personal opinion. I'll get into that later, but so we'll start off with some stats here. I managed to snag the level 1 and 2. The level 2, I was trying to get the Zaku Marine type, so I did a single drop, and then I got the level 2, and I was like, oh, okay. Sure. So level 1 is 600, level 2 is 650, and, oh fuck, I don't have my fucking stats on my phone, damn it. Well, I do remember that the beam resistance and ballistic resistance is 27, which is pretty good, I'd say. And then its melee resistance, I believe, is 12 for the level 1 600. And then I think it has like 70, 75 boost gauge. And I want to say around 50 range strength. And its melee strength is probably somewhat like in the teens or the 20s. Maybe lower. But yeah, let's see some weapons on this thing. This thing has a beam smart gun, which, it being called a smart gun, I would think it'd have like an ASL feature on it. Probably because I play too much Titanfall 2, or Titanfall. But no, it's just basically a regular beam rifle. It's kind of just your instant stun rifle. It stuns uncharged, and if you charge it up, it actually heavy staggers, which is cool. And then you can follow up with a ton of stuff. It has the thigh beam rifle, beam pistols on its thighs. It does like, if you shoot it from the ground, you can shoot 3 times before you overheat. And yeah, it can do a lot of damage on certain suits. Like a Stamen does like over 1,000 per shot. It's a great follow-up tool. You just have to be careful that the person you're shooting at cannot shoot you back. And I still don't prefer these kind of weapons. Like I believe it was the Zeta A1, where I just don't like how the thigh beams are. But I know that's just me personally. I know a lot of people like the weapon as it is, which I can see why. Like I said, it's a great follow-up weapon. And then it has the Vulcans. So yeah, Vulcans and then a beam saber. And then it has the mobile suit transformation, which, okay, so in its transformation, it doesn't have shock dampeners, which, by the way, before we get into that, hey, it's a support suit. That makes it the first transforming support suit, which is fucking awesome. It's really great. But then that's why I want to say it's a hama situation where they have to give it some kind of problem, or they have to make a negative for the positive it has. And the negative for this suit is that it doesn't have shock dampeners when in mobile armor mode. So literally anything and everybody can stun you at this cost, because it is 600, 650. Everyone has a stun rifle. You're piss easy to take out. However, the positives to this is that you have different, I think, stun values and range options when you're transformed. Your beam gun, it doesn't stagger when you when uncharged. It doesn't stagger when you shoot it uncharged. However, it does take significantly shorter amount of time to charge it up and get the heavy stagger off. And then with the thigh beams, you use those kind of like how the Zeta uses its beams when in mobile armor mode. Just pew 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 like that. Left right, and it can stack up a lot of damage. Oh, and back to the beam rifle. When in mobile suit form, you can only shoot it twice before overheating it. You can shoot it once, and then if you want to shoot it again, it'll be in yellow, so you have to wait a little bit before you can use it again. And here you'll get to see me transforming, trying to fly in, and hope I don't get shot. But it also has force injectors and melee combo controller. So it's really weird because this thing has range options, but they want you to get close to the enemy, it seems, which will be hard to do because it doesn't have defensive skills as a support, and it pretty much lacks, it lacks shock dampeners, so you can't try and use your armor to get your shots off. And of course, its boost is kind of like a regular mobile armor mode boost gauge. It's not like the Humbrabbies where you can transform back out, transform again, and then do a dodge roll or something crazy like that. No. If you just transform, you fly around a tad bit, maybe do one charge and a few beam sprays, and then if you transform out, you're out of boost gauge and you have to wait a little bit again. But yeah, this suit, I'm very decisive on it because it has a lot of good qualities to it. Like, this thing, I think it's the best support at high cost damage wise. Like, this thing can one combo a general from, it would shoot them with its like rifle, right? It'd get the heavy stagger off, and then it can transform and then shoot them some more. And for some suits, that can potentially one combo them. The problem is with that, though, is that you risk getting shot out of the sky because you have no shock dampeners. And then of course it has the melee combo controller and force injectors. It only has one melee priority and it has 12 melee resistance. So and yeah, it'll be easy to stop you from trying to do what you want to do. Which is why I think this thing is way better in space. You have more boost gauge to work with. The force injectors in space is actually fucking godlike for a lot of suits. And using this suit with the way it combos in space, I would recommend, if you're going to use this suit, use it in space because it works like a fucking charm. I didn't use it like to its full potential in the next video that's about to happen, but works pretty damn good. But yeah, trying to use it in random lobbies on the ground, it's just hard to do stuff. I mean, if you're fighting somebody who doesn't realize what you're doing, it's pretty easy because you can just stun them with your uncharged shot, walk up to them, get some melees off, or you can transform, stun them again, and potentially kill them. But you have to watch out for teammates, and it's really hard because without any shock dampeners, you can't fly away if you get cornered. You can't reposition yourself as easily as you could. Like, what I like about suits like with the Gapfly that can potentially snipe, you can reposition yourself somewhere else, and if somebody shoots you, you can tank that damage. Not with this suit. You have to be really careful when you reposition yourself. Oh yes, first place, awesome. Well, this is with some friends. We were dicking around, like I said. And this one I painted it look almost like the Zeta A1, so it's just hard to. It can be really easy against dumb opponents. Like this thing will trounce on a unprepared team, especially if your teammates are also really good. This thing will shit all over them. But if you have a team that knows what they're doing, what they're gonna fight, you get shut down so easily. Because you're a support. You don't have defensive skills, which is always. I would rather have a support with defensive skills, like a dodge roll, something with those matters, with a little bit less damage, and maybe more shots on his beam rifle. I do appreciate this. This is actually a step in the right direction for a support suit. Because like I said, it's a flying, transforming support suit. We should have had that like a year ago, but... but here, yeah, it's just a weird one. Also, I have no trouble fighting enemy versions of these. I know what I'm doing for most part when I'm fighting some. Oh man, 4,000 damage is pretty good. Um, but you know, if you do fight a good team, that can make fighting an enemy C1 terrifying because they have a team to back them up. So every time you stun the A1 and you try to go for it, the enemy team will try to intercept you, and then the C1 can fuck you up just by simply looking at you. So it has this weird balance going on with it where it can be really amazing, but it can be really shitty. And I mean that in both ways. Like I just said, I fought people and just had the easiest time of my life. But they can turn around and just kick your ass, depending on specific situations. I think he even mentions in the description of this suit that this thing is as good as the Zeta under specific conditions. It's kind of weird that what was the little quote for this suit is use your entire arsenal. Got it? Because that's what you have to pretty much do with this suit. Is if you're gonna combo a general, you have to use everything, and that can also be a problem because we mentioned the beam rifle takes 2 hits to man, why am I losing my train of thought here? It takes 2 shots to overheat, and if you want to follow up with your beam rifles, you have to be careful not to shoot all 3 shots, or else it will overheat too. And then you have to rely on Vulcans. Then, of course, if you want to transform, you have to watch out because you have no shock dampeners. So yeah, damage-wise, this support is really amazing. It's the best support, hands down, damage-wise. No questions asked. But in terms of, like, fighting, I don't think it's the best. I don't think a lot of high-cost supports are really made for that. Like, it had to depend on the situation. Like, here, having some teammates around, usually they have to set up the opponent for me, and then I come in and I just smoke house. Or at least help them smoke house. Yeah, of course, these are initial thoughts, so this could change at any, like, next week we can see, you know, the meta around the suit change, and it might actually be the best support, because I know there's a lot of people that see a lot of potential with this suit, and I do see some potential with this suit, but some of its weaknesses are very weird. Like I said, it's like the Hama Hama, where for every benefit it has a negative to go with it. So we'll just have to wait and see how the rest of these weeks go with this suit, because it can be pretty fun to use. I ain't gonna lie. I know in the initial thoughts and the first match we're kind of egging on it. That's because we were mostly worried about how its flight would work. You know, we had the first flying transformation suit, and of course it's way less than the other flying suits. So definitely use this with teammates, which, I mean, you should be anyway. It's a support suit. I just kind of wish it had something else to go with it. I wish it had the shock dampeners. I think if that's one thing I would do, I would give this thing shock dampeners, and then maybe make its damage a little bit lower. I'd rather be safe flying to try and get my stuff off. I want to be like the other, you know, transforming suits. It makes no sense why this one's different than the others. This is kind of weird. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the C1. We'll have to see how the rest of I guess the game goes to see if this thing is going to be a good support or not. Again, a lot of the ones I've been fighting, they're not that good, but they'll have to learn the suit. And you've probably seen Sync Wavy or somebody else do really disgusting stuff with this thing. and it can do some disgusting stuff, but it requires specific conditions. I know this thing can melt a double Zeta, if it gets the chance to. A lot of supports actually. This thing finds a Stamen. I think it was this match or some other match I had that I had recorded also, that I'll use at a later date. But I think I did a fully charged the heavy stagger shot on a Stamen and took half his health, and then I followed up with the thigh beam cannons and nearly fucking killed him. I think that might have been the level 3 Stamen or level 2, but yeah, fucking this thing shits on Stamen, so we're bringing back that old thing. If it shits on a Stamen, it's officially good. Stamens, man, oh, they're not a problem anymore in this game. And then, of course, oh yeah, man, we got some buff suits and nerf suits. They nerfed the Cubile, but it's not really a nerf. I mean, it is a nerf. They nerfed the shoulder buffer to level 1. They're like, oh man, we didn't realize that had a lot of defense. It was like, oh, no shit. Excuse me, did you not see when people were rocking out nearly 50 resistance, or at least over 40 resistances on everything? It made them, like, no wonder people were rocking 3 on a team, because you had everything there going for you. Just a tank, 3 tanks on your team. And then I saw, like, was it the Gapley, or maybe it was the Schwartzman Diaz, where they had like 40 or way low win percentages. And it's like, well, yeah, of course. Of course it fucking does. Especially the Schwartzman Diaz. Oh my god, Schwartzman Diaz is still... that thing is so easy to fight still. Even after the nerfs. I haven't noticed a thing with them yet. I know they buffed him to like make it easier switching and all that, but it's still damn easy to fight. And the Gapley is just weird because of its gun, which they admitted that in they actually buffed that gun too, the Theodine rifle, which indirectly buffed the Humbrabi too, which apparently they had to buff its thruster gauge. And hey, let's look at this. 4th place, 3-1. Hey, 3rd place in damage, which over 100k anyway. So we definitely rocked that team, by the way. So yeah, it's a really great supporting suit. I definitely enjoy this way more in space than on the ground. In space, you have another dimension to work with. You can avoid shots way easier. It actually makes space kind of fun for me to play at high cost. There's only a few suits that can do that for me at high cost space. And this suit's one of them. On the ground, it can do the work on the ground, but you just have to be very careful because it's not hard for somebody to find you in your transforming mode, shoot you down, and then you probably get comboed to death. However, it does have the benefit of having high resistances, so if you want to stack on resistances instead of damage, you can survive quite a bit. Just be careful because you might just prolong your death. You'll just be sitting there getting stun locked over and over and over again, and it's very painful. I know from experience. I've also tried out a loadout with this thing for cooldown, which I would recommend the cooldown for space, since you're gonna be less likely to get hit in space since you're schmooving around with your force injectors. And the cooldown, oh man, I think I put the level 3-to-1 auxiliary parts on it, and it shaves off 4 seconds from a 10-second overheat, and that's really good. Just in case you have to fire that second shot off to overheat your gun, and you can't wait for it to not be in yellow anymore. But overall, yeah, this suit, it's in the middle for me. It's really good, but it has some really bad things about it. And I wouldn't say really bad. Just, like I said, the Hama situation. It's got some stuff to go with some negatives to go with the positives. And again, we'll have to see how the rest of the weeks that go on by pass out with this suit. what the fuck am I trying to say? We'll have to see how this suit's gonna handle in the weeks coming. Because I remember when the Palace Athene came out, and a lot of people were worried about it with its missile barrage and all that, but you hardly see the Palace Athene anymore, and it's one of the easiest suits to take out next to Schwartz and Diaz. This suit, however, actually has damage on its side, and I think that's what will keep it in the running. It's because it can do a truckload of damage, but the problem is it has to transform for some of that, and it's really easy to stop you from doing that. So we'll have to see how this goes, but I am excited for more support suits. I want to see more transforming support suits, and hopefully they can do more with transforming support suits. I want to see maybe some more defensive skills on some. I want to see one with the dodge roll, a support with the dodge roll, hopefully soon. Maybe one with shock dampeners besides something like the Zoc. The Palace Athene really should have had shock dampeners. Should have been the Dovenwolf before the Dovenwolf. Something else I'm trying to think of. Maybe when they make a I want to say like a support Gaply, just having a sniper suit to reposition somewhere, which this suit, you can do that, but it's weird. But, yeah, it's going to be in this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I really appreciate it. And, type up in the comment section what you feel about the Zeta C1. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I love the look of this suit. I like, how the Zetas look in this game. The gameplay is iffy. I like the damage it has. It's just the way to get to it on ground is kind of troublesome. In space, I love it in space. I just love it in space. Also, apparently the beam gun that it has is the same as the EX-S, which is, I think, it looks like the double Zeta, the one that's piloted by like an AI, or at least co-piloted by an AI in Gundam Sentinel. Which, oh man, I'm wondering if that's going to be a suit in this game, how that's going to work. I wonder if it's going to be like Titanfall, where if you're trying to capture a base, you can set it to like a pilot, like autopilot mode, and then it'll be like an AI that would just fight computers, and you can do whatever else. Maybe you can get in a tank and help the computer AI double team somebody. It'd be really silly, but it'd probably just be something like Bio Booster or something. But that'd be really neat. Maybe it can give you a free auto tackle or something. That'd actually be really fucking OP. Never mind about that. Please don't take that idea, Bandai. Please. But yeah, with that, I'll see you guys later. Bye.